my manner. And evening to end all evenings, if you will. This party tonight will no doubt change your lives. Oh, Butler! This party will no doubt change your lives.
Madam, the guests have arrived.
Delightful. Let's meet our new friends, shall we?
Do you go first or does I? Oh, she's disappeared.
Man.
She's over here somewhere.
I see her.
Save that for later. Oh, you got it.
She's disappeared.
The trash.
The guests are already eating the appetizers.
Diane's closest, then Caroline, then Belle.
This is the one blocking I know.
All right, I'm next to Sweet, Caroline.
And where does she go?
We just need to go without her.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. My name is G. Clef, and I am your host. I gathered you all here this evening for an evening experience. I believe it would be a appropriate, I believe it's a good time, whatever time it is. I believe it would be a good time.
Now, where the hell's the
Carter Productions.
Okay. Well, first I'll go first. As many of you already know who I am. Caroline Andrews, award-winning actress. Why, I was the lead in such critically acclaimed films as The Noise of Music and Sherry Pigs.
Of course, I will.
You're not the only famous person here. I am Diane Jenkins, criminology professor at Harvard and famed mystery author.
There she is.
All right, your line. You stay on that side.
You're not the only famous person here. You're not the only famous person here. I'm Diane Jenkins, criminology professor at Harvard, and world famous mystery author.
Oh, well, I suppose we can't all be Oscar-nominated actresses now, can we? But I'm sure your little books are just lovely.
Don't rush it too fast or we won't understand.
Oh, I'm sure. Sorry.
Didn't know if you were done. Harvard? My husband was from Harvard.
If you're whispering, I'm sure you.
I know, but that's the reason why I'm worried. That's
You
okay.
got
You can have a wobbly, loud voice too.
Harvard?
My husband went to Harvard. I'm sorry. He just passed on recently, and I don't know what to do without him. I'm Eleanor Whipples, and former wife of Charles.
Oh, darling, don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay. I don't know who I am. Maxine Marbles.
Yes, you're Marbles.
I am Maxine Marbles.
Doctor.
Dr. Maxine Marbles. I am a psychologist. I help those people who you might say have lost their marbles. But don't you worry. I am well versed at grief counseling as well.
I, for one, am another notable guest. Belle Frett, well-known opera singer. But you were the other person. Well, at least in France.
It's truly wonderful to have you all here tonight.
Excuse me, madam. There's someone at the door.
Well, let her in. I believe our final guest has arrived. Well, if it isn't Mrs. Corpse.
Mrs. Corpse, actually it's pronounced Kurtz.
Oh, excuse me. Then I believe it's time to begin our festivities.
I'm saving it for later, Caroline.
Mind your business.
I believe it's time to begin our festivities. Please let me go allow me to go check on dinner. In the meantime, why don't you all relax? There will be music, and I invite you all to dance. Have a terrific time.
Well, what are we waiting for? I've hosted many parties, and they're always better when we're dancing.
Get the better, gotta get the here she is. So if you want to practice stepping over,
All right, here, where do we say our head was gonna go?
Towards this direction.
Okay, there's your head.
But that'll be in the way of choreo. Are we moving it? Are we moving the body then?
Can be over further.
Yeah,
So think it's
That's in the bedroom now.
Oh,
we'll have more room. Let me see.
let's have a bedroom.
Get in the bedroom. Miss Kurtz?
Yeah.
Miss Kurtz still isn't on. Miss Kurtz went to bed, huh?
My goodness, is Mrs. Kurtz dead?
Let me through. I'm a doctor. She's dead.
How could this have happened? This woman is actually dead. This isn't fiction. Call the police.
I'll summon the butler to make the call.
I'll stand by the phone while the butler's helping again.
Why, hey, here, Eleanor, should she walk in front of them? Do I walk in front, or? I think if you're talking, don't you walk in front?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody always walk in front if you're the talker.
Nothing. Why? The phone doesn't work. We can't call the police.
Let me see that. It's true. What are we going to do?
Well, beloved guests, I'm afraid I have some terrible news. Wait, what has happened here?
Well, you see Mrs. Kurt.
Quiet! I think everyone's in shock. We don't know what happened. We do know that Mrs. Corpse has moved on to her own little patch of heaven.
Oh. Hold on. Are you saying that Mrs. Corpse is dead? Well, how did this happen?
Madam Clerk, you see, we were all dancing, and the lights went out, and there was blackout, and we heard a scream, and the lights
You
went out,
guys
and
are-
she was
Caroline, you're still over by the phone with them.
Oh,
So wherever you went before.
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay.
Wherever you were before,
Can I walk up to her and talk?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but that's where you will be.
Madam Clef, you see. Like that.
It's called corner turning. You'll believe.
Oh. Madam Clef, you see, when we were dancing, the lights went out, and then we heard a scream, and then when the lights turned on again, she was dead.
This is a terrible turn of events. This is definitely not what I signed up for.
What do you mean signed up
Well,
for?
the truth is, I am not really your host.
Not our host.
I'm not really G. Clef. My real name is Regina Harbor, and I'm a stage actress. I was hired over the phone by the real G. Clef to play the mysterious host. My only instructions were to have everyone dance, then turn off the power for a moment, and then come back in when the power was back on. I had no idea it was a cover for a murder.
Well, if you're not G. Clef, then who is?
Hold on, Regina. When you came back, you said you had terrible news.
Oh, I forgot about the news. There's a blizzard. All the roads are closed and we can't leave the house until the storm has passed.
If we can't leave the house, that means the murderer can't either.
Oh, my.
The murderer is one of us.
Well, now, let's not jump to conclusions. Regina, who else is in the house?
Well, aside from us, there's just the butler, the maid, and the chef. And of course, all the musical entertainment, but I'm certain none of them did it.
And they're supposed to waive FCID musical instruments.
How can you be so sure?
Oh, it's very, very simple, dear. You see, none of them are main characters.
Okay, Caroline knows she has a line, but it's left me. This is my fear.
You're not wrong.
If there are no others here,
If there are others here, okay, so we're talking about the chorus not being main characters. I gotta get that in my head. If there are others here, shouldn't we bring them in here so no one is unaccounted for? I'm not getting murdered by some servant just because we didn't keep an eye on them.
Well, that's a good idea.
We can't let you go off on your own. I'll go with you.
Well, fine. Let's go.
well, if we can't call the police, I say we investigate this matter. Look for clues. I can't remember my next line. As a best-selling novelist and a criminology professor from Harvard, I volunteer to lead the investigation.
How do we know that one of you isn't the murderer? Why don't we all wait and keep an eye on each
Just tell
other?
me all of yours, because I'm trying to get off script.
That would be.
What was your last line? I'm sorry.
Why don't we wait and keep an eye on each other?
Oh, well, that would be a great idea, but there's just one problem. Again, I'm not waiting around to be murdered. Boy, I think it's obvious why someone would do this.
You do?
Well, sure. Think about it. I don't remember my first part of that. Of course, that's what it is. Of course. G. Clef has gathered all of us rich, famous people here tonight, and she's going to take us off one by one.
Oh.
The motive is clear. She's doing it for our money and our diamonds.
You know, for once, your theory makes some sort of sense. We do all have some sort of fame or money. That could be what connects us and makes us all targets.
But what about this Mrs. Corpse? Corpse. I don't believe she's famous. We know nothing about her.
Well, she doesn't have to be famous. I'm not famous, but I do make a fair amount of money.
Everyone in the house is accounted for.
Next line. Oh, but Regina, you said you were going to get the maid, the cook, and the butler. I'm only seeing the butler here.
Well, that's all. It's all one person.
What?
She does it all.
Yes, it's true. There were some budget cuts.
Oh.
What's going on here? First the lights go out, and then you drag me out here, out of the kitchen. I'm supposed to be preparing dinner.
There's been a murder. The phone is dead, and the roads are closed, so we can't leave the house, and we can't get the police here. We thought it best to get everybody all in one area so that nobody else gets killed.
And we've also decided to investigate on our own.
Ah, I found her ID. It turns out Mrs. Corpse is...
No, you don't repeat it.
Yeah,
No,
we-
Mrs.
I think I
Corpse.
should. You think? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the next time you could say it Corpse. You know, because you're saying it like 2 words apart.
We want to keep things.
Okay.
Okay. Was none other than Nadine Corpse.
Corpse. Oh, I see.
Corpse.
Correcting her as corpse.
That would be funny.
No, she did. She's been correcting her as corpse.
Whatever her name is.
Or by her maiden name, Nadine Burns of the Burns family. They're one of the richest family in the country. No wonder she was a target.
This all seems hopeless. just wish Charles was still here. If he was, I would never have inherited his money, and I wouldn't be a target. I wish I had never been invited to this party.
There, Eleanor. I know you miss him especially in the wee small hours.
Okay, remember where you're at, because after this, you go right back to where you were. Here we are, going back.
Thank you, Maxine. I wish we had all met under different circumstances.
I do too, but we really do need to get back to the matter at hand. We need to investigate.
I know a thing, by the way, if you forget that we need to investigate, I will not remember my line.
Well, that's why I got it in there. It's time to investigate.
You can step
I know
over
a thing or two about investigations also.
That's good.
I was the title character in the critically acclaimed film Shirley Holmes, where I learned to properly investigate a crime and work together to collect evidence. I say we split up and search the mansion for clues. It will take a while to plan our strategy, so let's take a break. Hey audience, this will give you a chance to stretch, buy raffle tickets, and come back to hear our special guests. See you in, I guess I'm not seeing you.
Okay, curtain closes, there's a break, then curtain opens for the Lincoln Air chorus. What do you think, Ruth? Do we keep the bodies out there?
Sure.
Them? All right.
Oh, well, I don't know, no, we probably, well, it depends what we do.
Because well, we close the curtain again, so I guess we could move the body.
Well, they're our entertainment for the night. They're in the mansion, right?
Not
Not necessarily.
No.
It's a
No.
Well,
pyramid.
you even said that.
No, that's the people that come.
We don't
with
really
the
know what they're doing,
detectives.
so it might be in their way. We can find out from them.
We'll see if they want to step over body or not.
Right?
Okay. Or if it would even be in their way.
Yes, yeah, it depends on what show they're doing too.
Right.
Okay, here's the, okay, so back to the show.
Well, now we have our plan. We must search the house. I'll take Diane with me upstairs.
And I'll search the main floor with whiny Eleanor.
Well, if you two are leading a search, then I should too.
Well, of course you can. You can have the basement.
I don't want. Oh, what's that?
You don't want to investigate? Oh, don't worry, sweetie. Not all of us can be great detectives.
Fine, I'll take the basement. I'll show you a good detective. I'll show you a good investigator too.
And then we just go back to the writers.
I don't see why I had to take the basement, and I don't see why they stuck me with the servant. No offense.
Now, Caroline, I'm sure the butler doesn't want to be mixed up in any of this anyway. Can't we just work together?
She's right. I'm not too happy being stuck with you either, miss. I was just going about my job. How is this any of my business? I was just working hard in the kitchen.
You were? Oh,
What's your line? What's the
I was
last
just
part?
working hard.
Because honestly, I am so dependent on
I
it.
was just working hard, no ad-lib.
Oh, I believe you. And since you're such a hard worker, I'll let you go into the basement first. It's my pleasure.
Oh, brother.
so what brought you here anyway? Did you always work here, or were you hired by this mysterious G. Clef?
Well, I'm here because I used to work for, well, it's not important who I used to work for. But I believe Regina knew my former employer and reached out for me to a job, to me for a job tonight. For the night.
Curious.
I think you're
Curious, yes. Reached out to me for a job for the night. Curious. Say, this basement's really giving me the
Okay,
creeps.
start walking before,
Say, this basement's really giving me the creeps.
Me too.
The walls are alive. You know what I mean?
before you get into the
Say.
middle sometime.
You know, sometimes before a big movie audition, I'll sing a little song to settle the nerves. A song might help us now, too.
Sing, 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 sing. Okay, run back to basement.
Oh, that was good. I'm glad you sang the song because
You feel a little better?
I feel
It
better.
does help, doesn't it?
Yeah, feel a lot better now. Oh, wait, what is that? I think it might be a clue.
What is it?
It looks like G. Clef has been working down here to plan this whole party. She wrote out a list of guests and it appears to have come up with the name G. Clef as an alias. G. Clef must mean something, but what could that be?
I think I might know. I'm not just an actress, you know. I'm also a classically trained singer, to widen my performing range, of course. In one of my music theory classes, I remember I was told that G clef stood for treble clef.
Treble clef? Like the musical symbol? I wonder.
What are you thinking? What does it mean to you?
Well, yeah, but I shouldn't say much.
Oh, does it?
I know.
It's just that it means something like
Does this mean something to you?
Well, yes, but I shouldn't say much. I mean, it's just that my former employer was very fond of the treble clef.
Okay,
Interesting.
Curious and interesting are two of my crazy lines.
interesting. Come now, let's meet with the others and tell them what we found.
All right, where should we start? Regina, you were here before the rest of us. Did you see anything worth investigating?
Not exactly, but I was told never to go into the master bedroom.
Well, then that sounds like a good place to start. Oh, looks like G. Clef must have been staying in this room. Yeah, she must have needed to stay here ahead of time to prepare for this elaborate scheme. That bed's definitely been slept in. Oh, look, on the bedside table. Looks like papers. Look like anything to you?
Well, they don't look like plans at all. They look sort of like mind puzzles to pass the time. The interesting thing is they're all anagrams.
Anagrams. You know, in my books, I use anagrams. Sometimes when I'm writing a character, I will, mix up the letters of somebody's name to create a new fake name, so nobody knows, secret identity. Nobody knows the character.
I wonder if that's what our murderer did here tonight. Well, these anagrams must be important. We've got to tell the others.
Yeah.
I say we start our search in the entryway. Be on this side. I'll go behind. No,
The entryway's over here.
right, but she needs to be on my side. But I gotta see, yeah, because when they knock on the door. Knock, knock.
What? Who could that be in this storm? We shouldn't let them in.
Police, open up! Oh.
Who are the two people that come in with me?
Quartet members.
Yeah, Vicky Van Dyke and Sam.
Okay.
We weren't able to call the police since the phone lines were down. And how did you get here in the storm? And how did you know how to come here?
Well, I'm Detective Arpeggio. I was on my way here for the party invited by G. Clef. But I got held up at work and stuck in the storm on my way here. I just now made it to the house. These late arrivals were also standing out here in the cold. But what is this you said about trying to call the police?
Detective, there was a murder here tonight. Mrs. Corpse
Curves.
was killed. We don't know how or why. Was she struck, stabbed, or maybe a love triangle and she was poisoned?
Okay, Ruth, what do you think?
Linda, when you come in, don't stand that way. Try to, more like that.
And then,
Quarter turn.
since she says that, should the two come off the risers and then come out here in front? Or where would you want them to go?
Yeah.
Would they go in front of the body or what? Center stage?
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be center stage.
Okay.
Just in there's.
So they'll come, well, next week when
Just kind of stand back.
Robin and, who is it, Robin and Becky? Who sings with them? Leanne and,
Leanne and Robin.
Leanne and Robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Robin, yeah.
All right, so then they can practice.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And while they're singing, y'all should fade back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go back to the front row.
Right, right. And there they go. Okay, they're done singing. And then Vicki and Sam will just leave.
A murder? Of course I'll help you. It's my job after all. I will need to know everything that happened here tonight if I'm going to catch this murderer.
We found a clue! Hold on. Who is this?
It's a detective. She's gonna help us solve this crime.
No, I'm not saying anything anyway.
She is a detective. You finished your line, right?
Yep, she's gonna help us solve this crime.
Oh, this crime.
Terrific. That's terrific. What is my line?
Thank
Thank
goodness.
goodness.
Thank
You're
goodness.
up
This
front
is
anyway.
all starting to come together. We're now back in business.
There you go, good job. Okay, and then you go back where you were.
Will we be able to go around behind the risers?
What is our
No, there's a curtain here. It'll have to be on the side.
All right. Okay.
So what has happened? She is detective.
So what has happened here? And what is this important evidence you found?
I think, wait a second.
So should I go over here? to the
Yeah,
body?
yeah. Come in closer. You're center stage.
What is our actual?
What has happened here? And what is this important evidence you found?
Well, when we were upstairs, we found out that our fake host, G. Clef, has a fondness for anagrams.
And I deduced that G clef stands for treble clef. Maybe treble clef's an anagram.
My goodness. The butler, chef, maid?
Wait, skip the line.
Oh, no, did I skip something?
Remarkable work, ladies.
Oh, sorry. Remarkable work, ladies, but what would it be an anagram for?
I think I might know. I mentioned before to some of you that my former employer had a fondness for the treble clef, and I'm starting to think she might be the killer. In fact, she's one of the guests here tonight.
Oh, blackout. Boop.
Yeah, I really need to come out over here then. So, yeah, okay. Here I am.
Okay, we're coming.
My goodness. The
Lights are back on.
Yeah, okay. My goodness. The butler, chef, maid? She's dead. And just before she was going to reveal the killer.
Not so. I think she said just enough that I know exactly who it
You
is.
can go down farther even, Caroline.
Not so.
Yeah, definitely you should have upstaged.
I think
You always
she's
want
revealed
center
just
stage.
enough that I know exactly who it is.
Who is it then? I confess I haven't figured it out. Deduced who it is yet. Who the culprit is.
What do I say right before I say a fondness for anagrams and a
That's
sure or something? Of course. What do I say?
A love for music and an anagram for.
So that's what I say
right
at
after I
first?
say after I say I
Okay.
haven't yet deduced who the culprit is.
A love for music and an anagram for a name? I think the murderer is Belle Frecht. Think about it. Belle is a musician, and her name is an anagram for treble clef.
You're right. I don't know how I didn't see it before. Sweet Caroline, you've cracked this case wide open.
Don't forget that great line in there. I bet our dear.
Oh yeah, I can't forget that. That's a great line. Sorry, I'm trying to go off script, and I'm.
I know, you're doing fine. You're doing
Okay.
fine.
Okay. You're right. I don't know how I didn't see it before. I bet our dear butler maid cook had been employed in her service. Sweet Caroline, you cracked this case wide open.
Somebody needs to make a smack. Are you really going to smack me?
Well, I'll do it from right here.
Okay, I will get that line
That's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
That's a good line.
The dear buttercup making.
Or there or not.
All right.
Curious line now. What a curious way to pass the time. Because I get your
Yep.
text
All
every
right.
day.
That settles it. Miss Malfrick, what do you have to say for yourself?
She's
So,
gone.
Are we still over here then?
We probably should be.
Where did she go? She was just here when the detective arrived.
Then we need somebody to say
She went
that.
there.
I know,
She went over there.
I don't know.
She went
that way.
Wasn't-
no?
Did she go back?
Actually, all the chorus could be saying
Oh, yeah.
that could be one, yeah.
Let's go get her.
With all of us working together, I say there's no way we won't find her. Come on, everyone. Let's start searching. We'll get this joint jumping.
So I think when you and I being up front here for any amount of time doesn't make as much sense, since we don't have any lines really in that next bit. So maybe
we
when
wander-
you're saying,
maybe
where is she? Or I think
we
she's
wander
not,
around
we
the
can
back.
come back here when people are
Pointing,
having
sure.
that. So I think I saw her over here, and we could go, we could get back on legend.
Yeah, that's good idea.
Okay, who's up here? Who's gonna be up here, Maxine?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, in front row. Who's gonna pull me out in front row?
Kristen.
Okay, she can do good, okay, and she can take me, she pulls on off there.
Gotcha. Is that who's? But she's.
Yeah, she says, got you.
We've got her now.
Yeah, but you're in the middle there.
Oh, so I'm gonna be on this side.
Yeah, you'll be on that side, then you'll grab me, she'll pull me off. All right.
We've got her now.
Belle? No, it's you.
Oh, thank you for the assist, musicians.
What? How did you know it was me?
I am done.
Yep.
It was all due to my marvelous deductive reasoning. You see, Val? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. What? How did you know it was me? It was all due to my marvelous deductive skills. You see, Belle, we found out that G. Clef had our murderous host, had a fondness for anagrams and music and anagrams.
Yes.
You were the only musician invited among us, and your name is an anagram for treble clef, or as it's also known, G clef. You killed the butler, thank you. You killed the butler to stop her from incriminating you, but it was too late. We already had enough evidence to know it was you all along.
Miss Frick, you're under arrest.
What were you trying to do? Pick us off one by one?
That was my plan all along. You heard that I'm an opera diva, but my music is only popular in France. I deserve so much more. I should have a Grammy. I should have platinum records. Instead, the world focuses on you, and you, and you, and you. Famous performers. Something, buddy. Let's see, what is it? Acclaimed scholarships and rich debutantes. You have no idea what it's been like for me. You have everything I deserve, so I decided to take it away from you. I will be the sole survivor here tonight, and your host, G. Clef, was really Regina, the murderer. Or at least that's what I'll tell the press. I will be the hero who stopped her from committing more crimes. The media won't be able to get enough of me, and I'll be just as rich and famous as I always dreamed. I will achieve all of my million dreams. Okay, there you have it. My motive, my plan, all of it. There's no chance you will stop me from succeeding. Now, she shouldn't have a hold of me now, should she?
No,
Okay.
you should throw me
I
off.
should probably have something before I should just come out and you're done.
You're done.
After you take your bows for your applause. There you have it. My motive, my plan, all of it. There is no chance that you will stop me from succeeding. I have built my foolproof plan to gain fame and get back at all of you for stealing my spotlight. No one can stop me now. It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Now you're going to try and run away? Is that what you're going to try and do?
Well, somebody has to come up and get me.
Well,
They could be sneaking up or something. Maybe Maxine
You could
and
be,
Kristen.
You could be trying to sneak when there's no way. You're like you're going to run away and they can grab you.
I
Or
don't
you
think
go
I
that
can.
way.
I'd rather have them come up behind me, just grab me.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So, and Maxine could too. Kristen and Maxine maybe.
Yeah, okay.
All right. All right. Shout, gotcha.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. No!
No!
Okay.
Well, she can't be the murderer. She could well be the other ones. She can't be the murderer. We are a fan club from Paris. But, well, she just can't be. Nah, take her away. Bye, 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 bye. You're the killer, so on. And then I say, take her away, detective.
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling musicians.
We were able to work together and catch a murderer, but there's other parts of that life. And use our collective investigative skills to catch a murderer.
Now I suppose all that's left for us is to wait out this storm.
That's right. Miss Frecht is cuffed in the foyer. She's not going anywhere tonight. As soon as the storm clears, I'll be taking her in myself.
Thank you for your help, Detective. If it wasn't for you, we might not have made it out of this evening alive.
No need to thank me. I'm just doing my job.
Well, I'm glad they've put this murder business behind us, but it's a shame that we had to ruin the party. Well, shame we didn't get to enjoy the party, though.
Why, this might be the most fun I've had at a party in years. Well, except for the murder part.
Yes, I must say it's been a pleasure working with all of you. Maybe the next time we meet, we'll be under better circumstances.
You can say that again. Let's
Maybe the next time.
let's
Sorry, I couldn't resist. Go ahead. You were doing such a good job too.
let's be grateful for surviving the evening together and ending up even stronger than before. And boy, am I glad our islands are over.
And then Kalina's going to do the thank yous and introduce how we sing today.
Yes, and then
Don't worry, Caroline, I've got this. We'd like to thank everybody
That would be great.
for coming here tonight. Thanks to the audience, thanks to Marion High School, to the tech crew, and to Lincoln Air Chorus. Our next, and then I'm going to come up with something for the next song. Yes, we'll have one more song we want to sing to you, and it's a Sweet Adeline song. And it's look in your programs, and the words are there. We would like you to sing it with us. This is the song that we always sing at the end of each rehearsal, and it means a lot to us. And we hope you can enjoy it with us. Well, all right.
Excellent work.
So, you know, before I go over
Another day.
I think when they